Did you know a Celt queen once killed 70,000 Romans in revenge? In 60 CE, Queen Boudica's husband died, leaving his kingdom to Rome and his daughters. Roman soldiers responded by publicly whipping Boudica and raping her daughters. Big mistake. Boudica raised 120,000 warriors and destroyed 3 Roman cities. In London, they burned every building and tortured Romans with spikes and hooks. Archaeologists still find ash layers from her rampage today. Rome finally defeated her massive army, but Boudica chose poison over capture, becoming legend. Did you know Rome's own bodyguards became the empire's deadliest assassins? In 41 CE, the Praetorian Guard stabbed Emperor Caligula 30 times. His last words? "I am still alive." They beheaded Galba in the Forum, selling his severed head for gold, while blood covered the Senate steps. Emperor Pertinax lasted just 87 days before guards beat him to death with swords. After killing Commodus, they literally auctioned the entire Roman Empire to the highest bidder. Finally, they systematically murdered the entire Severan dynasty. For over 2 centuries, Rome's protectors became kingmakers who controlled the empire through pure violence. Did you know that beneath Moscow lies a lost library that could rewrite ancient history? In 1453, when Constantinople fell, Ivan the Terrible's grandmother escaped with priceless Byzantine texts. She brought Greek and Roman manuscripts to Russia's royal court. Ivan grew obsessed. He gathered lost plays by Sophocles and ancient historical accounts that no longer exist anywhere else. But as his reign turned brutal and paranoid, he sealed the entire collection in secret underground vaults beneath the Kremlin. When Ivan died in 1584, he took the location to his grave. 500 years later, despite radar searches and countless expeditions, this treasure of ancient knowledge remains hidden somewhere beneath Moscow. Did you know the Aztec capital was more advanced than any European city when conquistadors arrived in 1519? Tenochtitlan housed 200,000 people, bigger than Paris or London. This engineering marvel sat entirely on artificial islands, with floating gardens called chinampas feeding the massive population. While Europeans dumped waste in streets, Aztecs enjoyed running water, sewage systems, and daily street cleaning. 3 enormous markets hosted 60,000 traders daily, using cacao beans as currency. Yet tragically, just 600 Spaniards destroyed this technological wonder within 2 years through disease and native alliances. Did you know that one missing piece of equipment could have erased Western civilization? In 218 BCE, Hannibal crossed the Alps without siege engines, but what if he had brought them? Rome's walls had never faced proper siege weapons. They would have crumbled in months, not years. No Roman Empire means no roads, no aqueducts, no legal system. Christianity might never have spread. The Renaissance? Never happened. Instead of European powers exploring the world, Carthaginian ships from North Africa would have ruled the Mediterranean. One tactical decision could have changed everything we know about history. Did you know farmers drilling a well accidentally discovered an army that had been waiting underground for over 2,000 years? In 1974, Chinese farmers near Xi'an were digging for water during a severe drought. Their shovels hit something hard. Clay fragments scattered everywhere. Then they found a head, a perfectly sculpted terracotta face staring back at them. Archaeologists rushed to the site and couldn't believe what they uncovered. An entire underground army, 8,000 life-sized warriors standing in battle formation. Each soldier had unique facial features as if modeled after real people. Different weapons, distinct expressions, individual armor details. 3 massive pits spanning 20,000 square meters. Emperor Qin Shi Huang's obsession with immortality had created the most incredible burial complex ever found. His terracotta army had been guarding his tomb for over 2 millennia, all discovered because farmers needed water. Did you know a prince chose the stars over his throne and was murdered for it? In 15th century Samarkand, Ulugh Beg built the world's largest observatory instead of conquering lands. While other rulers expanded empires, he mapped over 900 stars with revolutionary precision. His massive 3-story instrument could track celestial movements like never before. But his subjects saw this as weakness. A ruler should fight wars, not study the heavens. His own son, Abdul Latif, grew tired of his father's scholarly obsessions. In 1449, he ordered assassins to ambush Ulugh Beg during a pilgrimage. They struck him down with swords, ending the astronomer king's life. Yet his star catalog survived, influencing astronomy for centuries. He conquered the cosmos but lost his earthly kingdom. Did you know one man's generosity once crashed an entire economy for over a decade? In 1324, Mansa Musa, ruler of Mali, embarked on a pilgrimage to Mecca that would reshape history. He brought 60,000 followers and 80 camels, each carrying 300 pounds of pure gold. When he reached Cairo, he distributed so much gold that its value plummeted by 25% overnight. The inflation was so severe it destabilized Egypt's economy for 12 years. On his return journey, Musa had to borrow gold just to restore economic balance. But here's the incredible part. This single act of generosity put Africa on medieval world maps for the first time. One man's pilgrimage literally changed how the world saw an entire continent. What if Pharaoh Akhenaten's monotheistic revolution had survived his death in 1350 BCE? Egypt would abandon 3,000 years of polytheistic tradition overnight. The powerful priesthood would crumble, their temples closed forever. Amarna would remain the capital, reshaping Egyptian culture completely. But here's the shocking ripple effect nobody sees coming. Judaism, Christianity, and Islam might never have emerged. Without Egyptian polytheism influencing neighboring cultures, monotheism could have stayed locked in Egypt. Mediterranean trade would shift as Egypt's new religious identity isolated them from polytheistic partners. Greek philosophy might have developed entirely differently without Egyptian mythological influence. Rome could have remained purely pagan for centuries longer. The entire foundation of Western civilization would be unrecognizable. One pharaoh's surviving religious experiment could have prevented the rise of every major world religion. History's biggest what-if hidden in the ancient Egypt. Here are 5 things you didn't know about the plague that destroyed the Byzantine Empire. First, the death toll was beyond imagination. Between 25 and 50 million people died across the Mediterranean world. Second, the symptoms were horrifying. Victims developed massive swollen lymph nodes that burst through their skin, oozing blood and pus. Third, the economy completely collapsed. Farms were abandoned, cities emptied, and currency became worthless as trade networks crumbled. Fourth, social order broke down entirely. Bodies were stacked like cordwood in Constantinople's streets, with corpses floating in the Bosphorus, according to historian Procopius. Fifth, this plague permanently crippled Byzantine power, making the Arab conquest possible just decades later.